뭐가 그렇게 열심히 하려고 하는지 또 새삼 느껴지더라.
BTS news today. Surprising news again came from the world of K-pop, precisely from the legendary boy group from South Korea, BTS. In a very emotional and heartwarming development, one of the most beloved members, Park Jimin, just made a shocking confession just 1 hour ago. This recognition not only made the fans, ARMY, shocked and moved to tears, but also brought out a big smile from Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS who has always seemed very close to Jimin, both on stage and in their personal lives. The confession came in an exclusive interview aired live on HYB label's official social media. Jimin, who is known for his gentle facial expressions and soothing speech, sits quietly in front of the camera wearing simple but charming clothes. Her little smile looked awkward at the beginning, as if to indicate that she was about to say something that she had kept in her heart for a long time. After a brief exchange of pleasantries, Jimin began to open up and talk about his feelings and relationship dynamics with the BTS members, especially with Jungkook. He admitted that during this time there were many things that he hid, not because he wanted to lie, but because he was not ready. But that day, exactly 1 hour before this news was revealed, Jimin finally decided to reveal something that had been a burden as well as a source of his happiness. With a slightly trembling voice, Jimin said, "There is one thing that always makes me think day and night, something that I have kept in my heart, and that's about Jungkook." He paused, took a deep breath, then continued, "All this time, I've never really expressed how important she is in my life, not just as a group mate, but as someone who has saved me in so many moments." The fans who watched the live broadcast immediately filled the comments column with various reactions. Most of them were moved to hear Jimin's heartfelt words, while others immediately speculated about the depth of the relationship between Jimin and Jungkook. But the most touching moment was when Jimin finally said, "I want the world to know that I really appreciate Jungkook. In fact, I don't think I would be the Jimin I am today without him." Jungkook, who apparently watched the broadcast from the military headquarters where he was on duty, reportedly immediately called the BTS manager with mixed feelings between surprise and happiness. An insider close to BTS revealed that Jungkook smiled to himself and fell silent for a few minutes after hearing the confession. He just said, "Finally he said it too," and then laughed a little while rubbing his eyes, said the source in a Haru tone. The relationship between Jimin and Jungkook has long been in the spotlight, both by the media and fans. The two are known to have a very strong chemistry, not only on stage, but also in everyday life. They support each other on many occasions, from rehearsals, concerts, to facing difficult times such as when one of the members has health problems or public pressure. But during this time, both Jimin and Jungkook always kept professional boundaries and rarely expressed their emotions openly. Many soldiers refer to their closeness by the term soulmate, while others prefer to refer to them as two sides of one heart. And today, Jimin's statement seems to be a confirmation of all the emotional closeness that so far can only be guessed at. Shortly after the interview ended, the hashtags #JiminConfession and #JungkookSmile became trending on various social media, including Twitter, Instagram, and Weverse. Armies from around the world shared footage of Jimin's moment of making the confession, with captions full of emotion and love. Some fans even wrote digital letters to Jimin and Jungkook, conveying how much this moment made them feel BTS is not only a music group, but also a family that loves and supports each other unconditionally. A few minutes later, BTS official account posted an old photo of Jimin and Jungkook sitting together in the studio, with the short caption, "Brotherhood, Trust, Forever." This post was immediately flooded with millions of comments and likes in a short time. The fans took this as a form of support from the entire BTS team for the emotional moment that just happened. An observer of Korean pop culture stated that what Jimin did today was not just a personal confession, but also an important statement about the relationship between members in the stressful K-pop industry. This is proof that true friendship can grow in the midst of overwhelming spotlight and rush. And when an idol as brave as Jimin delivers something like this in public, it means he wants to show that the love, trust, and respect between them is not just for the camera. Reactions from other members began to emerge. RM, through his personal account on Weverse, wrote, "We all know Jimin has the most tender heart. I'm proud of him." Suga, who is usually more reserved, uploaded an Instagram story with only a heart emoji and the name Jungkook x Jimin underneath. While Taeyong, who is also very close to the two, chose to sing a snippet of BTS's old song Begin, a song sung by Jungkook that was indeed created for the other members. Not stopping there, some Korean news outlets even began to explore the possibility that this recognition would be the beginning of a special duet project between Jimin and Jungkook. Previously, they had performed together in several special events, but had never released an official song as a duo unit. With emotions still fresh and overwhelming public support, it could be that this project will really be realized as a symbolic form of their bond. Jimin himself, after the live broadcast, reportedly chose not to give additional comments to the media. However, BTS's manager said that he looked relieved after finally expressing his feelings. He just wants to be honest. Nothing else, just wanted to say what he felt. And he was very grateful to get the love from ARMY and the warm response from Jungkook. Meanwhile, Jungkook, despite being on military duty, promised to write an open letter in response to Jimin's confession. In a text message to his manager, Jungkook wrote, "Tell him, I feel that way too. Always." Today, the story of Jimin and Jungkook not only made headlines, but also served as a reminder that behind the glitter of the stage and global career, BTS are still 7 young people who grew up together in priceless love, struggle, and friendship. And that 1 hour ago moment will go down in BTS history as one of the most heartfelt moments ever shared with the world. Armies around the world are now waiting for a reply from Jungkook, hoping that his promised letter will come soon and become the sweet binder of a story that has warmed millions of hearts. One thing is for sure, today is not just about Jimin's confession, but about the unspoken power of love, which has now finally found its way to shine. A few hours after Jimin's confession shocked the virtual world, the atmosphere in the ARMY fandom still had not subsided. This moment is so monumental, not only because of Jimin's candor, but also because of his incredible emotional impact on the fans who have followed BTS's journey since their debut in 2013. In a community already accustomed to speculation and expectation, Jimin's honesty feels like a warm embrace that justifies everyone's belief all along, that the closeness of the BTS members is not just an image, but a real bond formed from mutual trust, mutual wounds, and collective victories. That it didn't take long. Some big fan sites began to retranslate Jimin's live broadcast into various languages. Pieces of his confession were edited into short videos that spread quickly on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and Twitter. The reaction from the Japanese army, Latin America, to Europe was very moving. They flooded social media with loving phrases like, "Jimin, you are the light," or "Jungkook must have smiled when he heard this." In fact, some army wrote poetry and fan art in less than 2 hours after the broadcast ended. One of the most viral fan art shows Jimin and Jungkook smiling at each other in an empty room with golden light coming through the window, emblematic of the long-awaited recognition. During an evening radio show in Seoul, a DJ, also known as a BTS fan, raised the topic. He read several letters from listeners that revealed how Jimin's moment of confession made them feel more courageous in life. One of the letters reads, "I have long hidden my feelings for my best friend, and tonight I will try to speak like Jimin, with honesty and an open heart." The broadcast was closed with the song "Promise," one of Jimin's solo songs that became increasingly heartbreaking when played in the midst of that emotional atmosphere.